Well, hello everybody. It's Ronnie with Whip and Chain. I got a beautiful one for you today. It's number 12 of 12 Days of Christmas. We are late. It's because I was not feeling good, so I do apologize. I think this is the first time ever I missed a schedule like that, so I apologize for that, but I got this done and I got the pattern done and out, and we're going to dive into this. Isn't she beautiful? Mrs. Santa Boot. Maggie, Lauren, and myself are excited to bring this to you. Let's dive right into it. All right, let's dive into making Mrs. Santa's boot. Now, I am using, Mrs. Santa likes her bling bling, so I'm using Love This Yarn, metallic, just red. Okay, and then for hook size, I went with a J. First things first, we're going to start with a chain of 17. No long tails are needed, don't worry. That's just me. So it's 17. Chain 17. 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, and 17. All right, I have a chain of 17. Now I'm going to strongly recommend you work for the first row and your back loops. Okay, so second chain from the second horizontal bar from the loop, from the chain, from the hook, we're on a single crochet all the way down, and that will land you at 16 single crochets. I'm going to meet you at the end. Okay, don't forget this last horizontal bar and make sure your count's good. All right. Now, please chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, in the second chain from the hook, just single crochet your way down. Until you get to your regular stitches, and then just do your regular stitches, single crochet all the way across. And if you're a faster crocheter than me, when you get to your last stitch, put in 2 single crochets in that very, very last stitch. Very last stitch, put in 2 single crochets in that last stitch, and chain 1. Turn in your first stitch, put in 2 single crochets, and then 1 in the first stitch, and then 1 single crochet all the way down. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, make sure you catch every stitch on every row, or her shoe's not going to turn out properly. Okay. Now I need you to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second chain from the hook, just single crochet, there we go, and you just crochet all the way down, and when you get to your last stitch, I need you to put in 2 single crochets in your very last stitch, and I'll meet you there. Okay, remember your last stitch, 2 single crochets in your last stitch, chain 1. This one's an easy one, just single crochet all the way back down. Okay, single crochet, no doubles anywhere. All right, I'll meet you at the end. Okay, get to the end, chain 1, and you turn. You're doing a single crochet all the way to the end again. At the end, the last stitch, I want you to put in 2 single crochets. All right, see at the end. Okay, last stitch, put in 2 single crochets in the last stitch. Chain 1, turn. In this first stitch, put in 2 single crochets. And I want you to single crochet all the way down, but don't do the last 3. Okay. I have 3 stitches left, so I'm going to go into the first stitch. Grab some yarn, come on up. Go into the second one. Grab some yarn, come on up. The third stitch. Grab some yarn, come on up. Total, counting your regular loop, you have 4 loops on your hook. Wrap and go through all 4. And chain 1. Now we're going to turn and we're going to do that again. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now single crochet to the end, and I'll meet you there. Okay, all the way to the end, chain 1. Now I want you to single crochet until you have 6 remaining stitches, and I will meet you there. Okay. I have 6 remaining stitches. So I'm going to do a 3 together like we did before. 2 and 3. All right. Chain 1, and we're going to just turn. You're going to leave those stitches alone. Okay. Chain 1. Now I want you to single crochet all the way over, and when you're at the last stitch, I want you to put in 2 single crochets. Last stitch. So 2 single crochets. Chain 3. Okay. Now, second chain from the hook. We're gonna just single crochet in that chain. Try that again. I pulled it and it got really tight. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Single crochet. Single crochet. Then we're gonna single crochet all the way over, but don't do the last 6 stitches. I will meet you at the end, but I'm saving my last. Oh no, we're almost there. So 1, 2, 3, 6. 6 more stitches. Three, 4, 5, and 6. Make sure you got 6 stitches left, and we're going to do 2 3 together. So this is 1. And this is 2. And chain 1. And turn. Now just single crochet all the way over and put 2 single crochets in your last stitch. and 2. All right. Chain 1. I want you to single crochet all the way over except your last 6 stitches. Okay. There's my last 6 stitches, so we're going to do 2, 3 together. There's 1, and then there's 2. Chain 1. Now just single crochet all the way across. I'll meet you at the end. Okay. Now chain 8. 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8, and just single crochet all the way down. And then single crochet all the way across your shoe, your boot, Santa's boot, Mrs. Santa's shoe, however you want to call it. This can get twisted, so make sure you're working on the side that you're supposed to be working on. So then just single crochet all the way across. I'll meet you at the end. Okay. Chain 1 and turn. And you're done. Just do a normal single crochet all the way across. Okay. Okay. Chain 1. And I want you to single crochet all the way across except the last 3. Okay? Okay, your last 3 here, just do a 3 together. And chain 1. And turn. Your first one will be a 3 together in the next row. And then you single crochet all the way over. And I'll meet you there. Okay, coming along, coming along. Chain 1. This row is super easy. Just single crochet all the way across. Okay. Chain 1 and turn. Do a 3 together. And then just single crochet over, all the way over. chain 1, single crochet all the way over except the last 3. Okay, last 3, join them together. Chain 1. Turn, do a 3 together, and single crochet all the way over. Chain 1. Turn. We're going to do a 3 together. 1, 2, and 3. And then single crochet over. And chain 1. Now for, let's see, for the next 8 rows, I want you to match stitch for stitch. That's it. 8 rows, you crochet, chain 1, turn, do 8, do crochet across, chain 1, crochet across, chain 1, crochet across. Do that for 8 rows, and I'll meet you back here. Okay. You did your rows. Now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 and put 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and then single crochet across, and in the very last stitch, put in 2 single crochets. Now you're going to match stitch for stitch. I did 8 more rows. Okay, you do as many rows as you want, as high, but remember we're going to have a few rows of the white fluff for her boot. So you can take this boot as high as you want, but remember, if you get too high, it's going to look kind of funky, so you don't want it too high. Me personally, I did 8 more rows. But while I got you, if I have a pair of scissors, yes I do, let me show you what to do with the heel. That way when we meet back, we will have the top of the boot did and done, and you can have the heel did and done. And then we're going to talk about joining. Okay, I just wanted to cut off enough yarn for me to finish this panel. Now do remember you need 2 of these panels to make this shoe, the stocking. So when you pull the shoe out, let me zoom you out. Okay. So here's the bottom point. Obviously this is where the heel's gonna go. So the heel is quite easy. You're going to take your hook, you're going to go in the very first stitch and bring yarn through and chain 1, and then go back in there and do a regular single crochet. Then I need you to do 5 more single crochets. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, and that's 5. So you have a total of 6 single crochets. Just chain 1, you turn, and you just go back and forth. I need you to do a total, just matching stitch for stitch, a total of 12 rows. That heel should match perfectly. If you don't like the way it looks, if you want to add a row, you're more than welcome to. If you want to make the heel a little thinner, you can single crochet 2 together. But my theory on the heel was, it's Mrs. Claus's shoe. She's not a young gal. She's not going to be walking around in spiky heel shoes. All right, so 12 rows of this, matching stitch for stitch. Then you just cut it off. And remember to do your 8 more rows, or how many rows you ever decide to do on this part. Then we're going to meet back. We're going to join this baby together. All right. Okay, I got my 2 boots here. Don't look like much, but they really are. So both sides are right. There's not a wrong side. Just to let you know, not a wrong side, not a wrong side. So you don't want to sew these tops together. So what I recommend is you mark the corners where your last stitch is going to go in them. That is a suggestion. These suggestions help me when I'm joining projects, because otherwise they usually turn out wonky, like uneven and a hot mess, and you name it, they do it. So I'm going to just go around Mrs. Santa's boot and mark some really important spots. Because the one I seem to crochet, my stitches are right. The one I seem to crochet tight, the other one I seem to crochet loose. So that's just me sometimes. I used to let it really bother me, and now I roll with it. Because it, you know what, it all works out in the wash. Right there. If it seems too tight, I will block it just to get it together. And that is a trick that you can use if you're like me with crocheting, and sometimes you crochet tight, sometimes you crochet loose, and then sometimes it's all over the board. Once your project's done, if it's looking a little wonky, you can block it. Trust me, I've had to do that on several occasions, and there's nothing wrong with blocking. I have a tutorial on blocking. Blocking is not hard. You just need a day or two for it to dry, and then you're golden. But some people are very, very consistent crocheters. I just can't say that's me. This project took me a long time to design, so I truly hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Now, after I stitch Mrs. Santa's boot together, I am going to put some white fuzzy at the top of this boot because it's Mrs. Santa. Mrs. Santa likes her bling. She likes her fuzzy. She likes to be a lady. And that being said, and that's what I'm going to do. But I wanted to let you know what I'm using in case you want to use the same thing or something similar. I will be using, let me zoom you out. I'm going to be using this Cozy Shapira. And the color is Blanche, B-L-A-N-C, Blanc. And it's a super bulky 6. Very fuzzy. So anyway, so now to join this beautiful boot, look how nice it's looking. Look at that. So you pick your edge where you want to start. Now, I thought about this. You are more than welcome to use a totally different color to join this, but I just don't think it's gonna look that great. But you guys are more than welcome to prove me wrong on that statement and do it and let me see it. If you do it, come join our Facebook group and show me what you got. And there's a reason I didn't become a decorating person, because that part of the talent I don't have. I'm going to go in my first stitches, and I'm going to grab some yarn. I'm going to bring it through. Drop my tail, chain 1, pull it tight, go back into those same 2 stitches, come on through. It's going to be hard in the beginning. I still didn't get it right. Don't assume it's right. If you don't think it's right, just do it again. Go back into those 2 areas. That's the first one. And there's my second. Grab some yarn. I think the bottom one's giving me the grief. There we go. Come on through. Make sure you pull it tight and then you slip stitch. Getting started is the hardest part. And then you're just going to go down the line and go into every gap and slip stitch. Make sure you get a very nice seam on Mrs. Santa's boot. So as you're going down, when you reach Mrs. Santa's heels for the turn right in here, I would suggest to put 3 in there, 3 slip stitches to turn it nicely to keep that crisp corners. Okay, that's just my suggestion. 3 and 3. Be careful when you're doing this point right up in here. Don't put too much in there or you don't want to push the heel back. You want to keep it straight. So I'm going to slip stitch all around and I'm going to meet you back here. Okay, let me start by saying, how cool is this? How cool. It's gorgeous. Love it. Love it. I am thrilled with it. So, obviously, I didn't weave in my end yet, but that's easy to do. So, and you have to work it out to get it flat. And you can pick your side. I chose the other side because my seam seems to be want to show on that side more. So I picked this side and I'm in love with it. I have chosen to give Miss Santa some fluff. And what we're going to do is this. I'm going to attach it, obviously, on the side that I'm not showing, like when I hang it. And chain 1. Now, you can do half double crochets, because to do a second row on this will be hard. So I'm just doing 1 row of half double crochets just to give it that flare, because this yarn is very hard to see your stitches in. But doing 1 row of it is easy because you have your regular acrylic yarn to go back and look at all your stitches as you're going around. And I really think adding this gives it that little oomph that Mrs. Santa's boot needs. And I'm just going over my tail, so I honestly don't have to worry about trying to weave in 2 parts of this tail. So you just work your way around. It doesn't take long to add this last little accessory. And I'm getting the ends that I didn't put away all tied up in it. And that is my fault. Obviously, who else's is it? It's my project. Now again, you can use any kind of fluff yarn. You don't have to use any if you don't want to. If you want to use regular acrylic yarn and do a different color, like just white, you can do that too. You can do any combination that you want. And please come join us on Facebook and show us your projects that you're making. It makes me so happy to see my designs being used and being created, and I get to enjoy everybody's hard work through all this. It makes me feel like my work to bring this to you was just perfectly worth it. And there she is in all her glory. I'm gonna have to play with this. There we go. Beautiful, huh, guys? Well, I hope you enjoyed this pattern as much as I truly enjoyed making it. Can you please come join us on Facebook? It's under WIP for Work in Progress and Chain, and join our Facebook group, because we're going to be just having so much more going on all year. I set a goal for myself to do a lot more videos this year, since we have a lot more members. And now that I'm getting better and better at doing my own creations instead of finding something, a free pattern, I'm going to try to keep running with my creations. Not saying I won't do free patterns, but I'm just trying new territory for me. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching this video. And please share, like, subscribe. We could use all your help and your love. Happy crocheting. Bye-bye.